Artist Tim Weedlun. Tim Weedlun is a realistic painter whose work demonstrates an extraordinary command of detail. Best known for his photorealistic paintings, Tim has built a reputation for creating works that reward close examination to reveal the remarkable level of his craftsmanship. Tim first joined the studio door shortly before the COVID pandemic and has remained part of the studio community for more than 6 years, making him one of the longest tenured artists working within the space. During that time, I've watched him steadily refine his studio practice while continuing to challenge expectations of what realism can look like on a canvas. While many collectors are first drawn to the technical precision of Tim's paintings, what I find most compelling is his sense of playfulness. Alongside his realistic works, he's created a number of clever and unexpected pieces, including Selfie Mirror, a commentary on the unrealistic male beauty in social media culture, Electric Rainbow, a series of Hollywood stars over the decades, and my favorite piece, a movie poster he created for the Crow Show that merges Frankie and Annette Beach movies with Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. What distinguishes Tim's work is his willingness to have fun. He understands the traditions of realism, yet he is never confined by them. The combination of craftsmanship, humor, and imagination is what gives Tim a distinct voice in art. Tim's paintings immediately appeal to art lovers who appreciate the enduring power of representational art. Welcome, Tim Weedlun.
I grew up in Colorado. Art, I guess, was always present in my life from being a little kid. I like to draw. I actually still have the Crayola crayon box that I got when I had my tonsillectomy. I used to draw and do all that. By junior high school, my focus sort of shifted over to music. But then in college, I decided to take some art classes again. And that was a rude awakening because this was the late 70s and my idols were kind of the magazine illustrators from, the earlier eras, like the 30s, 40s through the 60s, Norman Rockwell, kind of square people like that. And at University of Colorado, it was all about abstract expressionism, and so realism didn't really fit in. I remember one of our first assignments was to do a value study. We had to take a black and white photo and render it in any color, lights and darks. And I did like a marsh scene, and it turned out really well. And my fellow students were like, wow, this is the best one, and this is great, and all that. And the teacher was kind of like, oh, this is all fine, but we all want to stay away from calendar art. She called it calendar art, and put me in my place, sort of. And so I realized I wasn't going to kind of get the training that I wanted from university or the university setting. But then I was taking classes like at Michael's type craft store places, and that was more of a Bob Ross, happy trees kind of thing, and that wasn't really what I was looking for either. And so I just was kind of self-taught for a number of years. And then the real world came in, and I, got a job and was too busy to paint. So when I was getting closer to retirement, I started taking classes again, and then I got more serious about it. And I was finding instructors that were able to teach me, how to do what I wanted to do. And then I went to the Compass Atelier in Rockville, Maryland. That was a 3-year program, and that paved the way for. I now have this confidence that I can tackle, or at least know how to use the resources to tackle any kind of painting I want to do. I've tried to do stuff that's all over the map. I started maybe with landscapes, but then I tried to tackle portraiture and still lifes, and then play with a variety of styles. I like the pop artists, so I would do pop art kind of type things. This is sort of vaguely pop art. And it got to be too diffuse or too spread out, too different, and I think it confused people on what type of artist I was. So more recently, I felt kind of the not pressure, but the it seemed more practical to focus on a specific genre and a specific type, and still lifes are very good that way. I mean, I can control so much of it. Like a landscape, I cannot control the lighting. It's what you get. But with a still life, you can make it your own by adjusting the lighting and where you place the subject matter and stuff. And more recently, I've found that you can incorporate portraiture inside of a still life, or you can make the still life a portrait of a person by, just their objects or the things that are important to them, which I thought was kind of neat. So that's, I guess, where I'm at right now, is playing with the still life kind of stuff. I think of my paintings kind of as children, and I want to marry my children off to good homes. So that's kind of the big dream, is just to hopefully promote them and find the particular person who my art will resonate with, and hook them up and get them together. And but yeah, as far as museums or anything like that, I don't have any aspirations. I'm not doing anything that is shaking the world or I don't know. I would like to eventually. I think that's every artist's dream, is to come upon something that is kind of fresh and new, that hasn't been seen before. So that would be a hope, but if I don't get there, that's fine. I mean, the act of painting itself is very enjoyable for me, very meditative and fun. It's just always kind of a thrill to mix around mud and these abstract shapes, and eventually they start coming together to create this illusion, and that's fun. I have this feeling there's not enough time to do everything that I would like to do, but I would like to incorporate landscape into a still life setting. Most of mine have been kind of closed box, dark room, sort of traditional Dutch style still lifes, and I've kind of played around with trying to make them a little more, less serious, and maybe more comical or subversive, but I would like to open that up and see if I can incorporate landscapes kind of in the background of a still life that's in the foreground. I would like to do a lot of San Diego-based theme kind of paintings that also incorporate still lives. So those are kind of some of the things I'm thinking about. Color, actually, that's another one. I like kind of taking one color and just making that the emphasis of whatever the subject matter is, but a predominantly white painting or a predominantly red painting, and just kind of reveling in the color. I enjoy the work of the other artists. Guess I've never really thought of myself as a gay artist as so much as I'm just an artist who's gay. I've attempted some past pieces that I would call gay art, or they had gay subject matter or a theme. But typically, no. I think my work, I would hope, appeals to lots of people. Gay and lesbians as well. But I don't know if it can be labeled as such. There's a lot of good art out in the world. You should be on the lookout for finding it anywhere. It doesn't have to have the what's the word I'm looking for? The stamp of approval from experts in the field. It should appeal to you, and what resonates for you. And there's so much of it out there. There are so many talented artists in all walks of life, at all levels of skill. It's fascinating every time you go to an art fair or anywhere and or online even, and just see these people at work and the things that they could create. It's amazing.